Hi everyone, it's Judy. Welcome back to Rose Lane. I'm going to put my timer up there. I'm going to see if I can stick to this. I have been working on getting things ready to decorate and make tags and things for the, I don't know what to call this, I don't know, we'll think of something. But in any case, I just pulled out some butterflies and things. I'm not sure all of what we're going to be doing. I did print a bunch of, oops, I don't want to lose those, a bunch of little quotes. I just went on the internet and found quotes about gardens and things like that. So what I wanted to do first, before I do these, so I'm just going to take these out because they are in their respective places. Actually, I think I'm going to just sort of leave them tucked. Let me just kind of leave them tucked in here. I don't want to, they're not all exactly the same size, and I'm fixing the pillow behind me. Try to get that. Okay. Get it so it supports my back a little better. So what I wanted to do in here, I talked about, was putting something, let me open this up. This is the one tag I've done so far. I did one of these saying, it says, "How lovely is the silence of growing things." And I put some other flowers and a butterfly on it, a little lace up here. I don't know if I have enough lace to do that. I probably do on the other ones, but we'll see. So what I wanted to do was, I got two pieces of paper. Let me pull this out. I have this paper clipped together. I just want to get this part out. So they were just two pieces of paper that I cut. They were 9 inches because I could fold them into 3s like that, and they fit into this space. And again, it left a little bit of space around it, which is fine because, you know, anything close to the margins makes it kind of bulk up. So I was going to glue them together. Let me open them up so you can see better. Glue them together here, together like this, and then I am going to make it a pocket. Okay, so I'm just going to glue around here underneath to make a pocket here. So I want it to be a little bit closer to the bottom, but out of the fold, and give me a little room up here. Okay, I may end up notching this, probably will, just to get the card out, but I'm going to show you what I want to do first. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, we're going to glue these two pieces here and here together, okay, all the way together. So let's get this volcano-y. I cleaned off the lid and the spout for the most part, and it's still pulling stuff out of the lid, but okay. So let me make sure I am in frame with you. It is time to grab another bottle of glue, though I do have this one with my, oh, it has leaked. With my, what do you call it in here? Well, that's going to be a project. I can't get it to come out to glue things together, but it will leak if I lay it on its side. How about that? So anyway, while I'm doing this, let me take a moment to just thank everybody. I am actually in shock. A while back, my life was a little bit more my own, I guess, when I first started my YouTube channel. And I did pretty well in the beginning. I kind of grew pretty quickly. And then, like I said, I think over some time, more and more people got on with doing videos, and there was more people out there doing these videos. And I know I'm gonna try to get this before it spurts out, but I don't think that's going to stop it. And it was getting harder and harder to get at least my videos seen. There was some people who had started earlier on, and I'm trying to make sure I'm trying to see this fold. I want to get as close as possible to it without, make sure that's okay on this side. It is. Very good. So I think we just kind of got inundated with videos from all kinds of people doing you know, doing these videos, and there just got to be so many to choose from, that it was getting difficult for any one person to really be watched regularly. I've got to get something under me here. So I'm looking for something. I don't want to do that. This will work. This will work. So I really do think that, you know, if somebody was already big like Gail or Angela or Yvonne or somebody like that, that was already kind of solidified a little bit in this, when the genre got pretty inundated with videos and more people doing these videos, I think that they were, whoops, I don't know where that one came from. I'm not sure. I'll put them up here. I think that's kind of, oh golly, butterflies all over the place. I think that was, you know, they kind of took off and stayed pretty steady, while the smaller channels maybe struggled a little bit for a variety of different reasons. So I am not on frequently. I go through spits and spurts. I have a time where I might be on for a few weeks pretty regularly, and then you may not see me for 2-3 months. Just depends. So when I put up the video to do just the collage, just to, you know, tear some paper and glue them to a kind of not so pretty scrapbooking paper, you know, scrapbook paper, 12 by 12, I was not expecting the response that I got. That first video has, I don't know if I've hit it quite yet, but I'm coming awfully close to 4,000 views in 2 days. It's only, I put it up Wednesday evening, I think, and now it's Friday evening for me. Even to about 4 hours short. I'm looking at the clock. So maybe not even a full 48 hours yet. And I'm just amazed. I have gone up just about 200 subscribers between that video particularly and the second one, which I would have thought the second one would have had a little bit more, you know, oomph to it, because you saw the folding and the cutting and getting pockets ready and things, more than just sticking the pieces of paper onto the 12 by 12. So I was really, I don't know, maybe, am I a pessimist? Am I a realist? I'm not sure, but I'm waiting for the shoe to drop and something, you know, to come from YouTube and say, oops, we made a mistake, you know, sorry, that kind of a thing. I'm going to turn it this way because I think this was the one that was folded. Yeah, they're folded just slightly different. So this is how I figured this would open. It would open this way and it would open this way. This is going to have something on it. This is going to be writing space. And, well, actually, no, this is all going to be writing space, but I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. And then, of course, this being glued down, this would be writing space here, and this would be writing space here. So that's quite a bit. So before we go on with anything else, I'm going to try to do, I hope I don't wreck this, because I tried it on a separate paper, and it kind of came out okay. I got this beautiful what looks like a live oak stamp. It's kind of mangled because I really had to pull it to get it off. I didn't have a block that was big enough, so I had to use one of these quilting rulers that I have to make things square. So that's what I did. So what I'm going to do though, before I put the stamp on, I want to put this on the bottom. Let's hope that this stamp, I make it right. I just hope I do. I'm going to try to just use this because I'm concerned about the bubbling over here of that. So I want to put this down first, and I will read this to you, just a short little quote. Actually, and I don't know whose it is. I went to a site that listed a whole bunch of quotes for gardens. Some of them had the author, or, you know, whoever said it, had their name. Some of them had anonymous, and some of them said nothing, so I don't know. So what I want to try to do, if I can do this, is try to get this in the middle, near the bottom. Okay, that looks pretty good. And it says, if you can see this, he who plants a tree plants hope. And I thought, how beautiful is that saying? And this, like I said, is called a live oak. Not that all trees aren't living, but at least that's what it reminds me of. My sister lives in South Carolina, and I'm looking for my ink pad. And where she lives, it's just loaded with these live oaks. Absolutely huge, majestic, stunning trees. So I just want to be real careful, because when I did my practice, I kind of squished and I got like globs of ink in places, and it looked very globby. So I'm hoping that will not be the case here. But this ink is very, very pale. It's called Sand, and it's VersaFine Claire, and Sand Dune it's called, and it's very pale. But I wanted to put it on so that it could be written over. See, I can see I just globbed it on the end there. That it can be written over if somebody wanted to actually write over it. So I thought that would be kind of neat. Now, when I get this all on, hopefully I have gotten it everywhere, haven't missed anything. I think perhaps we'll just go straight across one last time, straight up and down, just to be sure. Okay, I'm going to take this. I'm going to try to put this down. I wanted it, and my head may get in here. I'm going to actually move it down a little bit so that I can see where I am, because I wanted it just slightly, sorry about my hair, guys, just slightly over the paper for the saying. So I'm trying to get it to go down without shifting, but I believe I just shifted it. So I apologize. I know I'm kind of like half off the camera right now. I think it ends about there, but I don't want to move this if I can help it. I want to make sure I'm getting everything, because it is a big, it's about 5 inches wide and about 3.5 inches at the tallest place, top to bottom. So let's hope I got it all. I'm hoping I got the ink everywhere, because I really can't see it. It's so pale. Okay, moment of truth, guys. Look at that. It's a little bit heavy there, but isn't that stunning? It looks like I might have missed a bit here, but that's okay, and maybe a bit here. That's where the edges of the paper are, but that's all right. I'm happy with it nonetheless. I'm just cleaning this stamp a little bit, trying to get off anything else, though I don't think I left a morsel behind. All right, I'm just going to take this and move it over. Ah, my goodness. So that looks beautiful. Let me get this up here. Can you see that? And I got it going over the edge of the thing here. So pretty. That's okay. That's okay. So that's what we have here. Now, the other thing I'm going to do is I have these pictures. Now, I pre-cut these, and this one is the card that's going to go inside. So this one, for the most part, at the moment, is done. This says Cultivate the Garden Within, and I'm going to show you why that was the one I chose. I have a butterfly down here and a couple of tiny little fussy cut butterflies there. This is another fussy cut butterfly. They're little tiny ones. So that's going to go behind, but what's going to go on the front here is this one, okay? But before we could put it on the front first. So that's this side. So I'm going to I think I'm going to glue down the green part first, and this is just paper, okay? So let me just open that up here. I'm gonna move these guys here. And I just cannot believe this. Look what it did. Look what it did. I'm gonna have to pick my thing out of it. Oh, that's not too hard. That wasn't hard at all. Okay. But my goodness, I'm not gonna do this now. I don't wanna be distracted. I wanna try to get as much of this done as I can for you guys tonight. And I will explain. I have these punches. I bought them, you know, when they were like the thing. And you remember to use them sometimes, sometimes you don't. They can be difficult to use. If the paper's too thin, it won't cut it completely. If the paper's too thick, it won't go through it at all. So it went through this, and this is 32 pound paper, and it went through this, and that was no problem. But I tried to just even go through the card, because I don't print on cardstock. I print everything on either regular copy paper or this 32 pound copy paper. And then I back with card, because I don't like the way it seems my printer seems, or any of my printers seem to come out crisper on the paper rather than on the cardstock for me. And I'm sure it's my printers. And so I just prefer it this way. And then I can control the thickness of things. If I print on card, I'm stuck with card. So I'm gonna turn this sideways so that I can get a better look at this top to bottom, because it pretty much fits top to bottom. Now, I want to make sure if I'm going to cut anything off, I'm going to cut it off from down here. Okay, and I like it away from the fold. Very nice. Very nice. So anyway, I did this and did these corners, and it worked fine on here. I tried to glue the paper onto card and do it. I'm telling you, I'm a big girl with a little bit of weight behind me. I stood up, I had my hands on it, I'm pressing down on it. I thought my eyes were gonna pop out of my head from the pressure I was applying, and I could barely make a dent. Just a couple of like little teeth marks, that was it. I was like, oh my gosh. So I was like, okay, maybe just with the paper and the glue, it's too much. So I was like, all right, I'll just, excuse me, I'll just, you know, I won't worry about putting the paper and the glue on, you know, glue on with it. Let me try the cardstock by itself. No. Cardstock by itself, nope, still would not go through. So I came up, I decided that I would back it then with cream colored 32 pound paper. Is what I backed it with, that last card, and you'll see that in a few minutes. Even that, I took 2 pieces of 32 pound paper and put it together. I couldn't get it to go. I couldn't get it through. And I'm like, are you kidding me? What is this? So what I ended up doing was I took the 132 pound, you know, the one piece of 32 pound paper. And I'm trying to make sure, I believe this is my line. So I want to make sure I stay close enough where you guys can see it. I'll probably stand up and look just to be sure I'm in the right place. I took one of them and cut the design. Then I took the digital and cut it. Okay. And then I glued them together, but only up to, let me get the card so you can see it. I glued them together, but only up to here. Okay. And no, actually, I think I glued them together first and then cut through without the glue, and then lifted it up and glued the last bit together. So this is 32 pound paper at the back, not the cardstock. And then 32 pound paper on top, and then this whole thing for this card. So that was a bit of a joy last night. I'm going to take the other one and put it on. This is just something I'm playing with. And let me get the pieces that I want. I'm going to take all the little butterflies and put them that way. And this one is for this one, and this is for this one. So I'll put those over here. I'm bubbling over again with my glue. And we're going to take this one and put this one on. So they're both a little bit different. Same but different. And I'm gluing a few little things on around the sayings. Let me see where I am in this. I'm a little, yeah, I can come a little lower here. All right. So let me get all this off. Lots of paper clips here now. And we'll go ahead and we'll glue this one on first. Okay. Did I glue this? Oh, see? I have to go back. You can't see that. I have to go back and do that with the Barely Arts glue, the design, so that I can get a thin line of glue in there. I do prefer this, and I'll be honest, I haven't tried to glue a whole piece like this down with Barely Arts glue. At least I don't think I have. My experience with the art glitter glue, which dries a little bit more quickly than the Barely Arts gives you a couple of extra seconds if you want to move it, but just a couple of extra seconds, where pretty much art glitter glue is like a suction cup. When you put it down, it just, you know, that's it. So I'm going to try to close this because I am volcanoing here, and then I'm going to put this on here. But when I would do or try to do a big piece like this with the art glitter glue, when I pressed it down and, you know, you squeegee it and bone fold it and, you know, press it down and make it spread the glue around, I can still see, I'm going to just go here because I do see spots on the edge I didn't get. I can still see where the glue was applied. It leaves this little line. I'm going to over here a little bit. It leaves this little line where the yeah. Okay. Good. Oh, this got to come down. Come down. Let me see if I can get this off now. I should be able to with this. Another reason why I like this glue. It needs to go. I need to do this from the top. I'm trying to keep it in frame, but it's kind of wild and crazy. But it will, yeah, see, I've got to trim the bottom of this one. This one was a little too long. Still too long. Alrighty, I think, are we? Okay, pull this back. Yeah, there we go. And I'll trim the bottom. So anyway, I would always see, like, I could see those little squigglies through the paper. So I didn't like that with the art glitter glue. So it's what caused me to start using this. And I know a lot of people say, you know, it smells bad and all that kind of stuff, and I can understand that. It doesn't really bother me, surprisingly enough. But nonetheless, I prefer it because you saw that I could peel it up if something wasn't quite right. I can peel it up and reposition it. If it oozes out the sides or gets on top of something or someplace where I don't want it, all you have to do is rub it with your finger and it just balls right up and comes right up. When you put it on here and you smooth it out, you would never know that you had two pieces of paper. To me, it's that good. It's no more expensive or whatever than any other glue that we use, I think. It's comparable in price. They're all kinds of, you know, kind of expensive, but, you know, I just prefer it. Now see, there's a little bit of glue that oozed out. I'm just rubbing it with my finger and it comes right off like an eraser, sort of. Yeah, I just prefer this glue. It is my favorite over all the others. And believe me, I have glues like you would not believe, from simple Elmer's glue to Sobo glue to Well Bond to 3 or 4 different kinds of glue sticks to art glitter glue and the Barely Arts glue and the 3-in-1 glue. Like, I've got glue. I have checked it all out, trust me. And by far, for me, I want to cut this before I get any further. By far, for me, this is glue overload here, and I'm just rubbing it. Not that it's a big deal down here, because I just don't want to get a lot of it on my scissors. Because these are not Teflon scissors. I lost my pink scissors, guys. My little fussy cut scissors that I had had for 5 years, well, 4 years. I lost my scissors. I cannot find them. They were starting to get a little dull in the middle, you know, because that's where we, you know, mostly cut. And I was contemplating taking them to a guy who sharpens scissors. And I fussy cut all over the house. Oh, I got stuff here too I got to trim. I fussy cut everywhere. I fussy cut down here. I fussy cut in my bedroom. I fussy cut in the living room. I fussy cut in the family room. I take fussy cutting with me on the road. You know, so I have no idea. I think I know the last place where I was using them, but I've taken the couch cushions off. I've looked underneath. I have a feeling I might have knocked them into a garbage can somewhere. It's breaking my heart. Okay, so here we go. So I'm going to open this up just so that I can kind of have a flat side to work on. For this one, I wanted to put this on, and I redid how this was done. This is another thing. It peels off so easy. It really does. So, but I wanted to leave room here because it says, leave room in your garden for the fairies to dance. So I got one of my digitals out, and I'll bring this up to the camera. Let me see. Actually, I'll put it on here. Maybe you could see it a little better. And this is a fairy digital. They're bigger than this, but I made it really small. This one was about 1 1/8, maybe about 1 1/4 high, top to bottom. And so I printed that off because she looked like she was dancing to me. And hold it up a little closer. And I fussy cut that out, and I'm going to put that on the label. I'm also going to put these flowers on the label, or not the label, but I'm going to put that in this way around here and try to center it. So I'm going to do what I've done previously. Hopefully you're seeing this. I can go scooch over just a little bit. And what I've previously have done when I do something like this is I take my Barely Arts, I just put a little dot of glue to hold that in place. And then I'll come down here and I'll put like a little bit down here on this part just to hold that in place. And now it's one piece for me, okay? It's one piece. So all I have to do now, and I will do the fussy cutting part. Well, not the fussy cutting part, but you know, the part that hangs over with this because it's finer and easier to get into all these tiny little places. So, and this particular, this is not going to make a difference because it will get all the 3-in-1 on it. But this particular flower, I have it in my computer. I do not have it labeled, so I may have gotten it off of, you know, one of those, what do you call them? Royalty-free sites. It was from earlier on when I was first starting to do this, and I probably did not mark, well, not probably, I didn't mark it the way I really should have. So I don't know. I'm thinking that's where it came from, was a royalty-free site, but I'm not sure. So it's this particular flower. Everything else, with the exception of the quotes that I'm doing, And this fairy came from the Bramblewood Blooms kit. So I'm going to try to put that down there. I'm going to squish it over because I'm trying to center it between this. Got a little bit hanging there. Let me make sure. I got to hold it up to make sure it's straight because, you know, me with my weird eye. It looks straight to me until I hold it at a different angle and then go, oh my gosh. I used to be really, really good at hanging pictures. And, you know, and believe me, I've done it lots of times because we move so frequently. I used to be really, really good at hanging pictures. And now every picture I hang, I step back and I'm like, nope, it's up on the right side. It's always up on the right side. I guess that has to do with the fact that I have no sight in my right eye. So yeah, it's interesting. Which brings me to the story of my new glasses. Here are my new glasses. They are trifocals. I tried to get the transition lenses. This was my problem. My problem was that even though I don't have sight in my right eye, my optic nerve still recognizes that light is entering my eye. My pupil is permanently stuck open. So when I'm in bright light, it won't retract the way it's supposed to, okay? And because my optic nerve, I think I want to put her over just a little bit where she could be seen a little bit better. And then I'm thinking, perhaps, let me make sure she's straight. That's pretty good, okay. Then I think I'm going to take a tiny, tiny little butterfly, and I think I'll put that down here. So anyway, I have to wear, I had originally gotten these trifocals when I first got the glasses after, I'm looking for my pin, guys. When I first got the glasses after all the surgeries, and I ultimately lost the sight in that eye. And they gave me these trifocals, and they made the bottoms very small. The part where you read, they made that very small. This is my butterfly bin. These are my small ones in here. These are relatively large and relatively medium, but they get mixed up. I'm going to move this and dump this out because I'm going to try to find a small guy that we can use. So I got these, and this one's really tiny. I think I like that one. Okay, that was easy. What's hard is putting these back in. All I could really use the glasses for was distance. But because I didn't have prescription sunglasses, so when I was in the car or outside anywhere, if I wanted to be able to like see at a distance, well, that doesn't belong in there. I would have to wear this like patch. I've got this slide-on patch that goes over the lens of the glass, okay? Like almost like a sock, sort of, to keep the light out of my eye so I could actually see. I might have that for something, I don't know. So I sometimes even on a sunny day, it was still too bright. So I'm gonna have to cut these antennae out. So just bear with me as I do that, because this will be a first without my pink scissors. So anyway, I said to my husband, you know, I really want to try now. I want to get glasses like you have, which were the transitions, rather than these hard lines in the bifocals. I'm hoping you can see me, just so that I'm not like annoying you by not being able to see what I'm doing. So I'd like to try that and get what we used to call years ago photo gray. I don't really know what they call it now, probably transitions or something, I don't know. And so that they will darken as I go out in the sun. So we go to the eye doctor. You know, my prescription for my left eye really hasn't changed in these last, 3 years or however long it's been, 3.5 years, I guess now. So we go to the eye doctor. I'm hoping I can get this cut out without losing a whole bunch of it. And we get the prescription, he gets it made. I go back and I'm like, I'm seeing double, which sounds really funny. when you have one eye. But believe it or not, you can see double with one eye. And so, oh, my timer's going off. I'm hoping I'm still recording though. Let me see. I am. Let's hope I can hang on for a little while longer. Because I at least want to get this part done. And if I have to, I will. I'm afraid I'm not getting these good. I'm just going to get rid of them. Just cut off the antenna because I can't quite grab it with these scissors the way I would like. So anyway, we get them, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I just have to get used to them. Well, you know, I couldn't get used to them no matter what I did. So I went back to the eye doctor and I said, you know, I'm having a problem. I'm seeing double. I know I have astigmatism in my eye. I had them in both of my eyes. And I said, maybe they didn't like account for that or something. You know, I don't know. So they check it all out. They're like, no, everything's fine. Apparently, if you have only one eye, if you only have vision in one eye, it's very likely that you cannot use, which, do I want to go this way? Yeah, I'm going to go this way. And just slightly off. Just slightly off the word, or the label. You have, I can't remember exactly what they called it, but it was something like, you know, I couldn't adapt to it, a non-adapting clause or something. So they took them back and they redid them. And I feel like there was something loose. And, well, I'll find it eventually. And I know I do have to do these. And they redid them. But unfortunately, I have to do these hardline trifocals because I cannot do the transition lenses because I see double. So that did not make me a happy camper, to say the least. So now I'm trying to get used to these glasses, and yeah, but you know, it is what it is, and I'm just gonna have to learn to live with it. I am not the only person in the world using trifocals, and everybody else can manage. So I will too. I just have to get used to it. So we'll just have to see. But that is my eyeglass saga. And that's that. Right now I am not wearing them. Believe it or not, I'm wearing cheater glasses, just the magnifying glasses, so I'm not getting those lines while I'm doing this work. Little by little, I'll have to get used to it. Okay, so this is what we have. What I'm going to do now, move these paper clips over to get this back in its pocket. What I'm going to do now is glue it right side up. Would be the good thing, right? Okay, yep, that's it. I'm going to put the glue around it, and I use this because it makes a fine line. I try to get as close to the edge as possible. And oftentimes people ask me about measurements. You know, in a case like this, I started with a certain piece, you fold it, it is what it is, and then I just start measuring what I have. You know, I take a ruler, and I'll show you this in a minute when I put this down, but I take a ruler to figure out how big I need a tag to fit in a pocket that I have, so it's not too wide or too high or whatever that is. I have my small little metal ruler that I generally use. And oh, you know what? I did want to do one thing. I'm gonna stand this up, and I'm gonna try to put a hole, not a hole, a notch in there. If I can find where I keep that. Where do I keep that? Do I have it out? Oh my goodness, it's not in here. Those are all circle punches. Ah, here it is. This is the one I want. So let me just try to do this before the glue dries. Okay. Okay, that'll work. And a little ink. Okay, good. Let me fold this back up so I can put this back on. Get that out of the way. Just put my finger in the glue. That's all right. That is all right. So we're going to put this down here. I'm going to try to center it as best as I can. straight. That's possible. Up a little bit so this will fold and it won't impede, but a little bit further from the top so that we have room to play with the card. So let me open these up and press this down. So what I would do is, what I did last night to find out how big to make this was essentially I measured where this would be glued and I measure in a little bit further. Okay, so here is the fold and here is the other part. So I figured, okay, about probably 2.5 inches, because that will clear. Is that what I have? Maybe, I don't know. I have a little bit more than that. Okay, but it should fit. If it doesn't fit, I will trim it down. Okay, I think it's probably going to have a little bit of a hard time. So I'm probably going to end up trimming. Well, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Thought just come to me. Because if I cut this, of course, I'm going to cut that off. But what if I cut it just up to here? It'll hang out. I don't know. Well, I'll figure this out. I will figure this out. If this is too big, I'll make a new one. Not a problem, and I'll use that someplace else. But this was going to go inside the pocket so that when you opened it up and you pulled this out, it says cultivate the garden within, because this would be within the pocket. So I will probably go back and check that out. Looking for my pin again. Well, I'll find it eventually. So this is how this section works. So this is all for writing in here. And then you can flip it this way and you've got writing here. And you flip it this way and you've got writing there as well. So that is what we have. And that beautiful, beautiful image of that tree in there is just gorgeous. And that folds that way and that folds that way. So that is what we have so far. So let me check and see if I'm still recording. I am. Again, I will apologize now for any abrupt, any abrupt halting on this. Oh my gosh, I didn't get it in quick enough. And now it's sticking. All right, let's try again. Come on. There we go. All right, good, good, good. All right, so I may put some other butterflies on here. Oh, I didn't do this piece. Let me get that before we start on this. I just have to find, here it is. Okay, so this one says, the earth laughs in flowers, and that one is a direct quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. I have to ink the edges of these just a little bit. You never get all of these, but you get some. So, but anyway, oh, I'll get back to the other story. There's a lovely lady out there who said, can I please ask if you can just not have so many pauses so that in your stories, so that it's like a cliffhanger. She, I don't know how my life can be a cliffhanger, but okay, I am willing to give that a try. But yeah, so anyway, okay, I think that's all right. And what was I going to put here? Was I going to put a butterfly here? I think I was. I think we could put the big one there. That one's pretty. I like that one. All right, so again, I'm just going to take a little bit of glue. I will tack it down where I have it overlapping. I can lift it up. Good enough. And then I can just go under here. All I'm looking for is just enough to hold it in place while I glue it otherwise. So, see, I'm sorry, my dear. I forgot her name, but she'll know who she is. Oh, that's what it was. I started to say, I'm stunned, overwhelmed, shocked at the amount of response I got to these two videos, particularly the first one. it was an overwhelming response, and all I did was glue some torn paper to a 12 by 12 piece of scrapbook paper. And I generally, like I had said, have not really gotten a lot of responses, a lot of views, a lot of comments or likes more recently, because more and more things become harder and harder for me to get things done in my craft room. Sometimes I move, and we move in the summertime, and that means the whole summer I'm not down here, because I'm packing it up and moving it to a new location and having to totally throw myself into my work because I have no routine in the new place yet. I have to learn people. I have to learn, you know, what they do there. I have to learn what's unique to this particular church in our denomination, and, you know, all this kind of stuff. So basically, if I move, my summer's shot. So that happens to me frequently. The last the last 8 years, I have moved 4 times. So, well, it's actually a little bit longer now. It's like 11 years, because we've been here for 3 years. It'll be 3 years in a month. So, so anyway, that is my, you know, dilemma with that. I think this way on this one. Oh golly, that glue. Well, I'll take care of it later. But anyway, for me to have this kind of response, if you're on YouTube at all, if you have a channel and you're on YouTube at all, and you might notice sometimes that it says you have subscribers, and then all of a sudden the numbers start going down. It has to do with their algorithms, and your subscriber count, I'm firmly believing, is not necessarily an actual count to the exact number, because it is true that people can unsubscribe, but if you suddenly get, you know, 12 people unsubscribing at the same time, that seems highly unlikely. So I've been kind of stuck in 4,600s for pretty close to a year and a half, okay? And all of a sudden now I'm getting like a ridiculous amount. I'm getting very near 5,000 in just 2 days. So I'm not sure. I want to say that God is blessing me, because I do love doing this, and, you know, I love this community, and I love what I do. And perhaps he is blessing me. I don't know. But, so there we go with that part. Done and done. Okay. I'm going to move this to the side, and we're just going to do one of these tags, and, I'll worry about, I mean, I might go back and do more on a subsequent video. So that, why not? Because I'm here. So I'm just overwhelmed. We'll see what the next few days bring, and if suddenly I start dropping 100 subscribers, then I know it was some sort of glitch in their system. But the views don't generally change, and the fact that there's so many views is just overwhelming to me. And I have gotten a few new subscribers that have told me in comments that they are subscribers. Obviously, perhaps there are far more subscribers that did not mention that they did. But for all of you who have come and sat with me here and subscribed or watched or liked, you know, simply viewed or hit the little thumbs up kind of thing, for all of you, I am so grateful, because I can't tell you how uplifting this was for me. It makes me, you know, feel really good that people are interested in what I'm doing, that they like what I'm doing. I like what I'm doing, and I'm happy with the things that I make. And I just want to share that with other people, you know, when I want to just bring that out into the world. And that was primarily part of what I wanted to do. Now, this is just a piece I cut. It's bigger than I need. I just have to decide where I want it on here. and I think we're going to go this way. I'm going to put the glue on here, and then put the paper on the card. I think that would work a little bit better. So I'm just thrilled. My whole purpose was to make beautiful things. There's a lot of ugly in this world. Let's face it. There's a lot of beauty too, but there's a lot of ugly in this world, and I just want to bring more beauty into the world. And I've always loved books. I've always loved writing as a physical thing, actually, you know, writing with a pen and paper. And I've always loved writing stories, actually writing the stories. And I thought, you know, what a perfect fit for me to make the journals. I love books. I have over 1,100 books in my personal library. So I used to read much more prolifically before I lost the sight in my right eye. But I still can read. I just can't read for extended periods of time because it gets too hard for me. I start seeing double, believe it or not. So just going to try to get this on this side and then slide that down. So I loved reading books. I love writing stories. I love the actual physical act of writing. No, need those. I'm trying to find a scrap. Oh, here. You know what? We'll use this. Come here. We'll use this. This is fine. I got some glue down here. I can feel it. Okay. Sorry if I'm shaking the camera. So with journals, I can make a book. For me personally, I can write my story in a book, or I can make these beautiful books and sell them to other people or gift them to other people so they can write their stories in the book. And I thought, what a perfect fit for me. This is just a perfect fit to make beautiful books that people can write in, physically hand write in, not a computer thing, but physically do the old-fashioned thing by handwriting, telling their stories, and writing their own book. I mean, how perfect? How perfect is that? You know, really, I think that's just awesome. So I'm going to try to just cut this. Sorry about the banging, rather than pulling out my knife and everything. It's a little low, but I think I'm going to trim that. I'll trim it from the bottom. So yeah, it just works for me. And I want to put that beauty out into the world in as many places as I can. And my pieces that I've made have gone in assorted places around the country. They're in Washington State, they're in Wisconsin, they're in California, they're in Virginia, they're in Florida and Georgia, they're in Canada, they are in England, I have one in Ireland, they're in Greece and Italy. So yeah, I've sent my love really around the world for a variety of different reasons, and I just love it. So I can't thank you enough for coming alongside of me, for supporting me, for encouraging me, for just hanging out with me. And I do encourage you as well. My emails, both of my emails are in there. My personal one, which I was using when I couldn't access my Rose Lane one because I broke my computer. Got a new computer now. My son's got me back into my Rose Lane after like 2.5 years. Yeah. And, but both of them are working. Please, you know, email. I have a few people who have become very close friends. I don't know what they look like. They live in a variety of places. I know what a few of them look like. And they email me, you know, sometimes just to say hello. They email for my birthday. They email to tell me something that's gone on in the life of their family. That is not the one I wanted for this. Yeah, I think I wanted something else. So I'm going to show you how I do this. But I've gotten these sort of pen pals. I think I like this one. I think we'll do that. So I did this like this. So because this one is going to go into the other side, because, you know, if you know me, I have to be symmetrical. I print on white paper, and this is what I do. I just... coffee dye paper has a tendency to get stuck in my printer. It always, you know, jams it up for some reason. There is something I want to try to do that somebody did a video on, a little video, and I'll get to that in a minute just to let you know, but how that's done. I haven't tried that yet, but I will try to do that. So anyway, yeah, so I would love to have some of you be pen pals, you know, just kind of email me, tell me what's going on in your life, and I'll, you know, if you have any questions about anything. Do also remember, I am a pastor. I am an ordained minister. So if you have any prayer requests or anything like that, and you would want me to pray with you or for you, I will be happy to do that. You know, it would of course be all through email, but I would be happy to do that nonetheless. And yeah, so I do this to be part of a community, and being part of a community, you correspond with people. So I encourage it. When I welcome you here, it's like welcoming, well, I'm welcoming you into my home. You are in my home. And I really, if you hear strange buzzing, my husband is fixing a bedroom. Yeah, it sounds like a herd of bees, but yeah, that's what he's doing. I'm sorry. He's cutting through some sheetrock and stuff, so I apologize. But absolutely, look up the emails. They're in the description box below the video. By all means. There's several people I keep in touch with. I may not always be very good at... I'll get back to you. I may not always be very good at remembering to get to you, but I have prayed that the Lord will help me with that to be a much better correspondent, and take the time for the people that I care about. So thank you to everybody who has come along side of me these past few days and even before, and just have become my friends. So I am going to just grab here, and I do want to check my time. I'm getting to an hour. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this. I have some roses in here. Let me see what I have cut that I can use on this. So yeah, I'm overwhelmed. Truly overwhelmed by the responses that I have gotten these past few days. I'm hoping that they stay there. It'll do my heart good. But yeah, just thank you to all of you. I so appreciate it. If I ever get to 5,000 subscribers, I'll have to do a giveaway again. So that would be a lovely thing. Oh, here we go. I think we'll try this one. What do we think about this one? Don't like it. Well, I'm not going to keep you much more than an hour here, so I'm just going to leave this here for now. And we did the center part, and that's good. I'll do a subsequent video, hopefully over the weekend, and maybe get it up sometime in the beginning or the middle of next week. We'll see. But I'm going to continue this. I'll do a little bit more off camera, and then we'll finish it up on camera. So we'll have that as well. So that's that, guys. How exciting this was. And again, I thank you all for all that you've done for me by being with me and helping me grow my channel. Keep it up. I love it. And that'll be that. So that's it for now. In the meantime, be safe, be happy, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.